what's it mean to us? It means that we've got a home, I guess.
We've been able to make it ours. So even though it is CHL's house, it doesn't feel like it feels like our house as well.
Coming here, this place is like a brand new house. It feels like it's brand new to me in comparison. And I have space.
It was almost like a movie, like somebody did one of those big sunbeam things and went, whoa, when Kim rang me that day, because it just changed my life.
They've given me, a home for myself, let alone a home for my daughter, and a stable home.
25 years is a reasonable time in my life, but just a beginning for this organisation. Certainly in 1994 we had our first property. I bought it on behalf of the organisation and renovated it and selected the tenants. There was a time when I knew every tenant. Now I probably couldn't tell you accurately the number of houses we have under management, such as the growth of the organisation. I think it's tremendous that the organisation has grown to the extent that it needs, but it's only 11,000 houses right across Australia, and we do know that during the time that the organisation has been around, that there are 500,000 affordable houses are needed in Australia to meet need. And we do hope that all of the community recognises this need. I would like to say that homelessness on the streets of Melbourne and in other cities of Australia is a result of the housing affordability crisis. It's not as a result of people's particular problems. People do have greater and greater problems and drift into greater and greater difficulties if they do not have a house over their head. Their lives are just like mine.
My name's Leanne. I was married for 20 years. That marriage broke down when I found out my husband had another family and a house and everything. So my whole world changed overnight. He took the children with him as well. That began my journey of a pretty horrible downward spiral, with lots of bad things happening to me, addiction issues, homelessness, in and out of rehabs. It was like one step forward, two steps back. And it was mostly around the fact that I didn't have a permanent home. You know, I couldn't have hoped to have gotten a job if I didn't have an address to even put down on a form. That's what I've found with CHL, is that they just embraced me with open arms and offered myself and my daughter this beautiful home. It's been a miracle.
I have been living in this community for about a year. I originally came because I met someone who was living here, and this unit became available, and we inquired about moving to it because I'm an amputee and was having trouble going up the stairs. I was in private rental, living with my daughter, her husband and 3 small children in a 2-bedroom unit. Here I have access to a front yard, a backyard. I can access and do everything and live independently, and I find that just a wonderful, wonderful thing.
We moved in 8 years ago and we lived in a rental property with my parents. I fell pregnant with Charlotte and we thought it was time to move out. We looked in a few different rental places and got knocked back, being that I was working part-time. Andrew was on a low income wage. A friend of ours said, try CHL. We walked into the office, they were very helpful, and they directed us to come and have a look at the premises here at Fentree Gully. And we got a call in January 2012 to say that we were approved.
People who work here want to see housing poverty come to an end, and we really live and champion our vision and our values.
Welcome to the traditional lands of me and my mum's mum.
Well, my name's Mary Edwards. This is my daughter Regina Edwards. We're both from Melbourne here ourselves, so we're Wurundjeri. I'm a Mati lady as well. The reasons why I've applied for housing was to house myself, but I was living with my dad at the time that was bringing home a bit of family violence. I wanted my own space. I didn't want to be around the violence anymore. It's one thing they've given me is a stable life for me and my daughter.
We have 11,000 houses under management across Australia. We build projects all the time. They're managed through 24 offices littered across Australia in all of the states, and we have 400 staff currently providing services. This is particularly relevant in places such as Melbourne, Sydney, where the market has just escaped the opportunity of people to get a house, and we manage the housing. So people come to us for housing where they are excluded from the market, otherwise can't afford the private rental market. And we provide temporary accommodation or assistance with funds for a bond or to meet rent arrears, and they're desperately in need of housing, which is where we come in.
I've personally been involved for the last 9 years at Queen's Road, but since we opened 13 years ago, we've been partners, Sacred Heart Mission and Community Housing Ltd. Community Housing manage the building, and we work in partnership with them, and we do the supports, and we have 24-hour staffing here.
CHL would not be what it is without lots of really good partnerships. From virtually day one, I think, CHL got involved with Melbourne Support Services, for example. They're still a partner. They've been a fantastic partner for all those years, and that's been expanded into several hundreds of partners, both here in Australia and overseas. So that's a critical part of how we work. It's been a critical part of our success, I think.
I'm Preeti and I'm the Corporate Communications Manager for Community Housing Limited. I've been here for about 11 years. I guess it's a great place to work because it has a great vision and great values which I personally align to. I just think housing is a fundamental right, and what we as an organisation aspire to do and have been able to do in the last 25 years is commendable, and I'm so proud to be a part of that journey.
I'd like to see a lot more people get help, the same as I have. Yeah.
We're very fortunate to get the keys for this place.
It's given me life, a second chance at life.
I'm going to have a good life again.